Welcome to our weekly CNMS study tip video. This week we're going to be talking about nudges. So here's what we'll cover. What do we mean by nudge? What's the psychology behind nudges? And what are some examples of nudges we might give ourselves to get into good habits? So first of all, let's talk about what a nudge is. Generally, we define the practice of nudging as a way to guide rather than mandate our behavior. So it's like think of it as being nice to yourself rather than giving yourself a super strict list of things you have to do. And so, simply put, we're trying to make it easier for us to complete the habits we want to build, to make things kind of more sustainable. And it's really important to know that nudging does not involve force. So, the psychology behind this is that, sort of simply put, we really like choice. Humans like having choices to, things to pick from, but sometimes it's also nice to have structure. So if there's an escalator in a store, for instance, but also stairs, and an arrow is pointing to the stairs, that's a nudge, and more of us will take the stairs. So I want to talk about some examples of ways you can nudge your own behavior in positive ways, mostly academically, but also, incorporating a little bit of extracurricular here in my examples. So the first one is a task list. So willpower is a muscle that we have to exercise. So future you is more likely to do stuff that past you already planned. So every evening, make next day's list of tasks. No one is forcing you to complete them, but the task list being done in advance, exists and helps you kind of structure your day the next day, kind of plan for the next day. And you just wake up and all you have to do is kind of execute it. It's a lot easier than getting to the library and saying, what do I have to do today? And wasting a lot of brain power thinking about that. So be specific with your task list. What stuff do you have to do for every class? Small tasks, really dig into the details of these because the more things you're checking off, as you go, the more motivating that's going to be, the more you're going to just keep kind of, snowballing on, how good it feels to complete tasks. All right, another example, chem homework. Let's say you're not doing as well in chem as you want. And, one thing that we learn in college is that they give us lots of work for a grade, but they don't give us maybe as much as we need to succeed. And so maybe we need to like amp up what we're doing in a class, for instance, do some more practice problems in chemistry. So let's say we want to start every day with some chemistry practice problems. We want to make that a habit. Pull up the website you're going to need for that just before shutting your laptop for the night. That way, the next day when you get up and you open your computer to go study, the first thing you're going to see is that website with your chemistry practice problems. So you're making it a lot easier to complete that habit. It's right there. You're just making it more obvious. You have to take fewer steps to get there. Gym clothes. Lots of people have trouble in college getting to the gym when they really want to. They know that it's good for them, and they like, it's good for your brain. It's good to kind of get your blood flowing. It's sometimes if you go to the gym as a study break, it kind of gets that diffuse thinking going, and you might be able to come back to a problem that you couldn't solve before, and maybe you'll be able to figure out the answer. But getting to the gym is hard, even if you live on campus. But we all have a free, access to the gym at UMBC. So lay out your gym clothes the night before and immediately put them on in the morning. That's a great nudge. You're already wearing the clothes. It's a lot easier to get to the gym. Maybe some app help. So, one example, this is a really good nudge. Think about whether there's a studying or flashcard app you could use. Maybe it's just your to do list, but whatever it is that, will kind of remind you to study or like get you to directly study if you have Quizlet on your phone or some kind of other studying app. So let's say your biggest time wasting app is Instagram. And let's say Instagram is in the bottom left corner of your first screen on your phone. And you're really used to swiping right there and touching that spot with your thumb to open Instagram. So move Instagram somewhere else. You don't have to delete Instagram from your phone. Just move it to a different spot on the screen and move your studying or flashcard app to the spot where you usually keep Instagram, because your thumb is so used to going to that spot and opening Instagram, and all of a sudden you'll be opening a studying app and you'll be like, oh, I better just do 10 minutes of this instead of scrolling for 10 minutes. And that is a really good nudge. So again, none of these are forcing you to do anything. It's just kind of helping you get into the mindset. It's helping you. It's decrease the number of steps you have to take mentally to get somewhere or physically to get somewhere. So now I want you to take 5 minutes and think of 3 different nudges you could create for yourself. So make them simple and make a point to make the quote unquote right choice every time for at least a week. And you'll be really surprised at how quickly these habits form if you stick with those things. And one thing that can really help you is if you give yourself a small reward for doing the tasks, because this will really help reinforce them. Giving yourself a little hit of dopamine right after with like a piece of chocolate or 10 minutes of your favorite show or whatever right after doing the task, that's going to start reinforcing it. Your brain's going to start to trick itself and say, well, I really love doing that thing. And the dopamine will actually start to hit you before you even do the task. It's kind of like a really helpful trick. So, think of some nudges you could do for yourself. Maybe try implementing them. We can't wait to hear about how they go. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.